Good afternoon, cult members. Welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. This is Sean, and we are deep into the San Diego Comic-Con trailers and news and notes and stuff that's going on. I've been watching all the live streams all day. There hasn't been a ton early this morning because a lot of the big panels weren't starting until midday. And as I was watching stuff and going through and seeing what's going on and stuff, I came across this, and this is Mars. Now, Mars was a Nat Geo show that came out last year, and Janice and I watched the entire series and loved it enough that we actually talked about it on our big show. We need to come up with a name for it. And what it's about is the first season was about the colonization of Mars and what it would take for us to get to Mars, to set up a long-term colony there, the fight to find water and all that, and shelter and all that kind of stuff. And it was a very cool series. There was some dramatization stuff that was going on, so like a sci-fi serialistic show kind of thing. But then they would interject with real scientists and real authors and people who are talking about what we're doing now to get to this part in the show. And it was a really cool concept on Nat Geo, and we loved it. So then I see that they dropped the trailer for Season 2 today at San Diego Comic-Con, and so, of course, I'm in. So let's see what it is. This is our reaction to Mars from Nat Geo, and go.
There are other human beings on Mars now.
Well, yeah. Big colony.
Coexistence may prove just as challenging as
Yes.
it does on Earth.
Oh, I forgot Ron Howard and Brian
Mars
Grazer.
civilization ultimately looks like an advanced version of Earth.
Look, it's Tony Stark.
Industry is going to be absolutely vital to that effort.
Lucrum's a private corporation.
And mine is. They're here to make a profit.
I've watched too much Doctor Who. Don't drink the water on Mars. Don't drink the water on Mars.
The Arctic is a perfect
Martian is my
example
favorite
of this.
movie
We
right now.
see companies looking at the
Written by
Arctic
Andy Weir.
as a porthole for oil.
Space is a new frontier. It's
True.
unexploited.
What's that saying? Drill, baby, drill?
Your crew is cut into a scientific preserve.
What you're doing is not right.
Anytime science reaches a conclusion, you are going to face pushback.
In the history of human conduct, we have plenty of evidence of things going wrong.
Yes.
Whose side are you on?
Not a new thing.
There are no real boundaries here.
Mars is going to be more dangerous.
There's a contagion going through the Lucrum colony.
What the hell's going on in there?
Consequences are going to be dire for everybody.
The stuff is shot so well.
The cost of being foolish is so high that you will fail.
There's one thing Mars teaches you. It's patience.
Space exploration brings out the best in us. It's where we solve problems that have never been solved before.
Forces us to solve them.
No one can control what happens on Mars. The planet has a way of making sure actions have consequences.
There's real no atmosphere on Mars. November 15th. November 12th. Sorry, November 12th. Sweet. Okay, that looks awesome. Looks like they just took the example that we already had of the first season and just continuing on with the story. Instead of having how we get to Mars and how we colonize it, now we have a colony there, and one of the ramifications of having a long-term colony on Mars. They have to be able to power everything, they need to be able to feed everybody, but then you have a lot of the other stuff going on. There's no real laws in Mars. In The Martian, they talk about it's essentially international waters, so there's maritime rules essentially, but there's no like overlying government. And if it's corporations that are sending us to Mars with Elon Musk and Virgin is trying to get us to space and that kind of stuff, and there's a couple of different other companies and I can't think of their name right now, but they are trying to get us to Mars too. It's not government, it's actually corporations. And so who has claim to what happens on Mars, and at what point are we doing it for profit and what part are we doing it for learning and education and evolution of our species. And then there's also stuff like they talk about contagion. What if somebody shows up with the flu and they didn't know it? If somebody didn't get smallpox, what if there's something in the air at Mars? So you have all of that stuff that has to be dealt with before, or thought of, and how we would deal with it before we even go. And having the real scientists today having those conversations as they're showing the dramatization in the show is what makes it really cool. And so it's shot so well. It's got a big budget to it. You can see, I'm pretty sure they just took a bunch of the stock footage that was left over from The Martian and just put it in this show because it looks exactly the same. It was a really cool show. This looks really awesome. What do you guys think? Let us know. Leave us a comment on your thoughts on this season and the previous season of Mars from Nat Geo. And like this video. Let us know if you thought we did a good job on this trailer review. And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications as we're doing all these trailer reactions for the next couple of days from San Diego Comic-Con. You can get a hold of us too on all of our social media outlets. PopCultureCult on Facebook, PopCultureCult1 on Instagram, and at @pop_cult1 on Twitter. We're also on the Stardust app. You can react to everything that you're watching, little 30-second videos. Download it from the App Store, and just follow us first, and then react to everything you're watching. Till the next trailer, good afternoon now.